difference. Rattling my replacement heart of gold. I'm coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish.
Second half begins with a run from Miller. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
It's caught. Jones. Touchdown, Giants. Marvin Jones, 56 yards. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. You call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brian Arakpo coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage.
Back now here in Santa Clara. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter play. Simeon. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Simeon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. What a Super Bowl this has been, and the biggest play comes now. It's fourth down. They'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. This remains a one-point game. The defense did their job. Now the offense here late, they just need to kind of hold on, seal this victory. Now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Benny Fowler that time. Third down here.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands. Receiver making his break, making his cut.
And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on fourth down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
It'll be a gain of 6, and on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeMarcus Ware. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And no, it's incomplete.